Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the language of big business. Today we're diving into a Form 8K filing from KULR Technology Group. And trust me, this one's got a twist you won't see coming. It involves Bitcoin and some interesting math that they use. So what's the story? KULR is betting big on Bitcoin and they're using a unique metric to justify it. Let's dive in. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where we can chat all things finance. This Form 8K is a current report, which companies file to announce major events that could be relevant to shareholders. In this case, KULR Technology Group is reporting an update on their Bitcoin strategy, so let's see what it's all about. The report is dated June 9, 2025. KULR Technology Group is based in Webster, Texas. Their main phone number has area code 408 and was incorporated in Delaware. This part is just legal boilerplate saying they are not using this form to promote anything. Nothing to worry about here. KULR stock is traded on the NYSE American LLC exchange under the ticker symbol KULR. That's where you can buy shares of their company. Here's where the interesting stuff starts. KULR announced they've joined the Bitcoin for Corporations initiative, which aims to encourage companies to adopt Bitcoin. They also announced they bought more Bitcoin, about $13 million worth, at an average price of roughly $107,861 per Bitcoin. This means they now hold 920 Bitcoins and their average purchase price is around $98,761 per Bitcoin. They also mentioned something called BTC yield, which they say is 260% year to date. Let's unpack that. KULR uses BTC yield as a way to measure how well their Bitcoin strategy is working. They think it helps investors understand why they're issuing more stock to buy Bitcoin. Basically, they think buying Bitcoin helps the value of their company for each share that they issue. Now, here's the important part. KULR admits that BTC yield isn't a standard financial measure. It's not supposed to be seen as the same as a yield in the traditional sense. It doesn't say anything about the stock performance, the company's income, or anything else. BTC yield measures the period-to-period percentage change between KULR's Bitcoin holdings and its assumed diluted shares outstanding. They're clear that it's not a measure of operating performance, financial health, or how well your investment in their stock is doing. They also say that the price of their stock depends on many things, not just the amount of Bitcoin they hold and the number of shares they have. So the stock price could be higher or lower than the value of their Bitcoin holdings. KULR only uses BTC yield to determine if the use of their equity capital increases the value of their Bitcoin holdings. When figuring out BTC yield, KULR doesn't look at where the money for buying Bitcoin came from. They could use cash from their operations, which is good, or they could sell more shares of stock, which could lower the value of each share, so BTC yield might not give you the full picture. Achieving a positive BTC yield depends on several things, including how much cash they generate from their business and whether they can get financing on good terms. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results, and BTC yield doesn't promise anything about the stock price, company performance, or the performance of Bitcoin itself. KULR also points out that they haven't paid dividends in the past, and owning their stock doesn't give you any direct ownership of the Bitcoin they hold. Investors should rely on KULR's official financial statements and other reports filed with the SEC. BTC yield is just extra information, not a replacement for the real financial data. This is standard legal language saying this report isn't an offer to sell stock. They've attached a press release as Exhibit 99.1, which contains the same information. KULR says they'll continue to use their website, press releases, and social media to share information with investors. They suggest that investors check these sources because they could contain important news. They list their Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube accounts in case you want to follow them. They clarified that information in this report, including the press release, is being furnished and not filed, which means it's not subject to the same legal liabilities. This section simply restates the fact that KULR bought $13 million worth of Bitcoin. This just lists the exhibits to the report, mainly the press release, nothing else too important. The report is signed by Michael Moe, Chief Executive Officer of KULR Technology Group. Topping out, let's step back and look at what this all means. KULR is making a bold bet on Bitcoin, and they're trying to justify it with a non-standard metric called BTC yield. The company appears to be tying its success to the success of Bitcoin and using stock to get more Bitcoin. What's notable is that KULR themselves are warning investors that BTC yield is not the be-all end-all and you need to look at other things. While the idea of increasing the value of the Bitcoin holdings per share outstanding is intriguing, it also comes with risks. The stock price is impacted by more than just the Bitcoin holdings. KULR is also very reliant on outside sources for money, and Bitcoin investments are prone to volatility. Alright, that's our breakdown of KULR's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.